Welcome to the Fuck the Generational Wealth Gap podcast. I'm your host, Elise Alexander, your go to fam when it comes to creating a wealthy life and getting rid of all the baggage that comes with codependency and perfectionism. It's not an easy trip, but you better bet your ass it's worth it and you are worthy of it. So, on today's episode, we are going to talk about something special. We are going to talk about what is the best investment. And for me, something that people would have told me maybe 10 years ago, that the best investment would have been going to do something that makes you more money, but that doesn't really make you happy. So for me, what I realized what the best investment is, here's the secret sauce, you guys. The best investment is you. Because when you can have the best investment being you, you are going to care about your money more than anyone else ever will. And I say that to you because no one's ever going to care as much because it's not their money. Just like when you give someone money rather than when you work for money and you know the feeling, the difference of when you work really, really hard and then you have to give that money for something. I don't forget that feeling. I don't forget what it's like to make $15 an hour, $10 an hour, because I remember. So today we're going to talk about the best investment being you. And I'm going to give you the tricks that I've found and things that have become really important to me in figuring that out. Because I think a lot of the time we want to invest, but we have no idea where to put it. And a lot of people are like, oh, the S&P 500. I'm not hating at all. But you are your own S&P 500 because you have to be the best investment for yourself. What if you invest in something and then the depreciation of the value starts going down? That's never going to happen when it comes to you because you're always going to be there. You're always going to be the one at the helm with your vision. So, we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of stories where I learned some things and also where I really felt like I had an impact in those moments and that it really impacted me and changed my life and the trajectory of how I've gotten to where I am. We are also going to talk about some no-nos as well as the difference between what happens when you really do it or when you kind of have to do it. And then I'm also going to leave you with a question at the end of this. And I'm not going to give it to you now because I want you to really think about it. I want you to really be able to receive it. So, the first story that we are going to go into today is really focusing on continuing your entrepreneurship, right? Because I think that we all get this idea and this like thing inside of us where we're like, okay, I figured it out. I want to live the life that I want to live and I don't want to work every day and I want to do something that I enjoy, but at the same time having no idea how to do that. I was one of those people. I really wanted to maybe do business, maybe change the world, maybe also just work like one day a week. I had no idea what it meant to create a life for yourself, build investments for yourself, create passive income, create a budget, regardless, like none of these things. And I really early in my journey was just focusing on how I could cut excess spending. And I realized that, going out to eat all the time and going to the movies and doing the things that we really want to do now doesn't serve our best interests at the end of our future us. And what I say by future us, I mean that future you has to support you. So every work that I do is to support little you, future you, and current you, because all of those yous matter and they impact our story in every moment of the day. So, a story that I learned was that I would be that person that would be like, okay, I'm going to find all the free stuff. I'm going to find every like template that I can get. I'm going to find all of the free things that I could possibly get. And I'm just going to like hoard information. So I would continue to learn, continue to learn, continue to learn. And I'd be like, oh my God, I need to learn more. I need to learn more. I need to learn more. Instead of taking a moment and maybe saying to myself, how can we learn more and also help people at the same time? because mostly people are focused on the people in front of them, not the people behind them. And where true service happens and where true abundance really lies is the people who are two steps behind you. So keep in mind, I'm looking for all the free things. I'm signing up for every email template. I'm signing up for everything. Do you want to know how many of those templates that I actually went back to? Do you want to know how many of those things that I actually used? Don't get me wrong, I used a lot of free things. But I'll tell you that true transformation didn't happen in my life until I made my first investment on myself, until I took the scary leap and was like, you know what? No effing around anymore. If I want to meet people who are like me, then I need to get in the room. If I want to really learn, then I need to ask people, hey, how did you become wealthy and not just rich? Then I need to get uncomfortable in order to understand the information. Because I'll tell you as well that I was that person who got the free stuff because I felt stupid. I felt like there was no way that I was ever going to learn any of this information, and that it was a man's world, and that there was no way that I could do it the way that I wanted to do it and felt respected and felt like I could do things and felt like I could have a life and felt like what I was doing in the world changed something. So throughout the free stuff, and I realized, okay, let's put like $600 down on an event that I had never been to, that I'd never met anyone, but it really was a chance for me to get in the room. And I remember spending almost all of the money that I had at the time to get in the room. Like, I'm talking like I had like maybe $10 left in my bank account. But I got in the room and it entirely changed the trajectory of my life because I was able to start to dream bigger. These are why the investments in yourself are really, really key. Because if I would have paid for that as a course or not really like connected with something, then it would have gone over my head just like everything else, just like every other course I had taken, just like every other reason I thought was going to fix me didn't, because I was the only one that was going to fix me. And we all think that in business or in life that everything that's happening around us doesn't affect our business or our world. Okay, yeah, that's a joke. Because it does, because everything affects us. So the story is that I was the person who literally consumed free things for 6 months and realized that even the things that I was getting that were free, I wasn't using. But when I started to get things that I paid for, oh, you better bet that I've rewatched those recordings. You better bet that I've taken time to start to get it to sink into my chromosome, because you need to hear something. You can't just go to something once and expect it to sink in. Just like I had the expectation that if I was going to learn about financial freedom, I was going to get it on the first try. We were going to do all the things and it was going to make sense right away. And I realized that that's so not practical. That's so not how it works. That's so not how I learn. That's so not how I'm meant to teach other people to learn, because you need to be connected. You really need to resonate. So I hope that you get what you needed from that story and that we really need to sometimes go all in. This is my next best advice for why you are the best investment, because you need to do it for future you, but you need to pay for it, because when we don't pay for it, we don't feel as though that it's necessary to do. We don't feel as though that, oh, you know what, like, yeah, okay, like I paid for it, but like it's not that expensive, whatever, like it's cool, I'll do it later. That was my favorite excuse, you guys. I would say I'll do it later. And it wasn't until there was a very hefty price on a program that I knew I was meant for, that I connected so deeply with both of the trainers, that they also changed the trajectory of my life. But it was the most money I had ever spent. Not 10K, but almost. And I felt this moment inside of me be like, because I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how I was going to pay it. I didn't know how I was going to figure it out. And I've realized that when you don't pay for it, you don't actually do it. You don't push. It'll never push you outside of your comfort zone. Another tip: you are your own savior. So when you invest in yourself, you can always save you, because I'll tell you, I was someone who watched Disney movies for my whole entire life, and I love Disney. But one of the things that I've realized that I've taken on from that, one of the identities that I've taken on, is that I want someone to save me. And in reality, no one's going to come and like pick you up and be like, "Hey, okay, we're going this way now. We're going to finish the 10-mile drive." No. And I expected that my whole life. And that's why being able to invest in yourself and being your own savior is so beautiful, because you get the opportunity to love yourself. You get the opportunity to put yourself first, which brings me to my next tip: oxygen mask. You know, when you get on the airplane and they tell you, like, you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you give someone else their oxygen mask, because you need to be set. You need to be able to help someone else, which means your cup needs to be full. You need to know where you're going on your purpose, your vision, your contentment, your fulfillment. Because let's be real, we're not searching for money, we're searching to be fulfilled. So why can't we find that? Because we're not looking for the right thing. And people say, "Oh, well, people can be wealthy all the time." No, no, no. They're rich all the time. They're not wealthy. Wealthy is being happy, being joyful, doing the things you want to in life, making a difference. That is true wealth. And it comes from within. It doesn't come from anywhere else outside of you. And I know that I've been someone in my life that I'll be like, "Oh, no, no, I'll just like wait for the partner that I have to come in my life. And then like he'll put the oxygen mask on me. Or he'll have his own idea of financial freedom and he'll do it." Oh, you guys, this is something I fell under for a very long time. We cannot wait for a partner to come in and make decisions for us. Because if we do not ask ourselves the question of, what do you really want? What is it that you truly want to get to? Then how are we ever going to get there? Or are we just going to be like aimlessly, like going in the night, like a boat or a ship, just wondering where we end up? So also having the best investment being you, is that you is where it's all going to end up anyway, and then it expands from there. You truly get to give, you get to serve, which is what to me wealth is about, is being able to help more than just you. Because I truly think that investments being you related are amazing, but there's a couple of things, that secrets that are, I would say, not so much talked about. If you are going to do things in terms of programs, courses, things of that nature, these are some things I've learned. Programs that I really like have lifelong legacy programs. So being able to use the program for as long as it's being given. And if the program gets updated, you also get the updated version. So lifelong legacy programs are something like number one that I look at. And most of the programs that I currently have or have been through are now legacy programs, because I want to be able to look at them more than once. There was Lisa Nichols said that she went to a training 42 times. Okay. And we all think that we go to one training, we're like, "Psh, okay, I got it." No. Number two, doing what you can to get in the room. It doesn't matter. Like your last dime, the universe will always serve you. And if you believe in that, it will always continue to support you. So finding a way to get in the room transforms your life 100%, from the very moment that I stepped into a room of people who made more money than me, because I started to realize, oh my God, there's all these people to ask these amazing questions and they actually know the answers. So you start to feel the energy, you start to vibrate in the same sequence. Number three, getting in the VIP room. Getting in the VIP room has made me meet my three best friends that I talk to, that have pushed me in business and in life, and to push me even to do this freaking podcast. Because sometimes we don't feel like doing things. We don't. I don't feel like doing things a lot of the time. So I have to push myself to get empowered, to push myself to know that I am that woman who can do what I want to do. Number four, purpose training. Any program that can give you purpose training that is truly authentic, that vibrates to you, your authentic self, and getting to know yourself, getting to know your wants and needs. That's programs I always find, because they'll also do it for you and your potential client, whoever they may be. which I think is also very powerful because a lot of the time our potential client is us several years ago. Yes, I'm going to say that again. A lot of the time, our potential client, no matter what you do, is you several years ago. Number four, that's how you teach. When someone teaches you directly and you get that opportunity, you can then become a teacher. Yes, you're a learner, but you can also become a teacher. So, what I'm going to leave you with today as the question is, what is the best investment for future you right now? This is a question I ask myself a lot. Is it education? Is it action? Is it a trip? Is it planning? What is it? What is the best investment for future you? I am Elise Alexander. My Instagram is Burning Pure. I am so grateful to have you here with me. I hope to see you and hear you and feel you. Please leave comments. And if you have any questions on things that you would like to know about in terms of investing, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of wealth in general, or the wealth gap, I would love to answer anything that you have. And I will talk to you next week. I hope you have a wonderful, wealthy, happy day.